Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have a ELD Legacy Open, Death and Taxes versus Blue-Red Delver. Towards the Plowshares, taking out the Monkey. Might be Blue-Red Delver, or this might be the Standstill deck. I'm not actually sure. We don't have all the information. Marquee, we'll see if it ends up being correct. Tournament actually filmed during the daytime, so looks like we have to figure out the ambient light situation. A little bright. Storm. Find some removal for this Mother of Runes before she becomes a big problem. Again, would love to connect a couple of times versus Death and Taxes. There are treasures. Great deal to offset the taxing effect of the deck, both Thalia, Wasteland, Schadenport. Those effects looking to constrain the mana. Oh, and a Swords to Plowshares is found, and I believe this is going to be still version. A Wasteland revealed, unable to play it mercifully. Get on land cards. Stoneforge Mystic dazed. Things just lining up very, very well. Ryan not getting a treasure, applying pressure. Another Stoneforge Mystic, this one resolving. Ooh, a little early there. I actually don't like that Swords to Plowshares thrown out before Batterskull is grabbed. Giving a little bit too much information. Not really a great reason that possible for Death and Taxes to make a different choice. Urza's Saga. Let's see. Oh, gonna jam another Stoneforge Mystic. Already a Batterskull. Bolted. Resting. Saga. Can be ported down. There. Second stage. That was GA. Construct. That trigger by porting. Swords handles the construct. And Pithing Needle showing up off of Urza's Saga, getting 2 activations out of the Saga. Flicker Wisp takes out a construct. Replace. Treasure still standing online, so even if Ben does have Saga, Ryan doesn't find another man, would still be fucked. Such a different game without that. Cool. Urza's Saga, Ragavan, Murktide Region. There's so many new cards. Modern Horizons 2. Really not clear the best decks are going to be. So we got a Flicker Wisp, AOing Construct, Yet another construct is made. Flicker Wisp. Oh, so Flicker Wisp hits the Flicker Wisp, and then the other Flicker Wisp hits the construct. Bonding. Prior to the draw, so during the upkeep, making yet another construct. Guide Lantern. Cantrip here. Cash that in for a card. Getting rid of Death and Taxes graveyard. Guide Lantern. This uptick in play lately. Like a gigantic Murktide Regent coming in. Those 5 counters. Guy bigger than both Flicker Wisps combined, outside of their combined power. Towards the Plowshares would certainly be welcome for him. Down in combat otherwise. God and Port being activated. Not a ton of value at this point. Retrofitter Foundry. Despite Thalia being in play, still a tremendous value. Even at 2 mana, this card would be fine. Big increase in demand for this card thanks to Urza Saga's ability to tutor for it, especially underneath a standstill. Passing the turn. Full ton of artifacts on board. Another Mother of Runes. Retrofitter Foundry. Can start pumping out Thopters. Eventually Constructs. 4/4s on the ground. Probably going to end up being optimal. Up. Mother of Runes can hold back. Murktide Regent along with Flicker Wisp. Standstill, but this Retrofitter Foundry really a breakthrough card. Both. Flicker Wisp. Going to get in there for 6, and now a Charming Prince. I'm going to do Flicker a Flicker Wisp. Flicker the other Flicker Wisp. Guide Lantern. No, just going to go ahead and get rid of the construct right away. I suppose. Getting the other Flicker Wisp to untap, not super relevant here. Especially not Mother of Runes tapped is responsible for it. Excuse me. 6 damage. Pretty dangerous. Alright, so Thalia. Sideways, and now a 5 mana card. Batterskull, most likely. Batterskull, very dangerous. I don't know about it is 5 mana right now, but you know there was a Batterskull in hand. We have a Hardcast Force. Batterskull would have been a build your own Gristlebrand type situation. Flicker Wisp lifelink and +4/+4. Give that guy throw blue, and that's going to push the game very far out of range. And of cards like True Name Nemesis. Cauldron Complete hand. A couple of mana off from being able to cast that. Nemesis gives some inevitability now. Ryan's side of the board eventually. And will be able to get there just turning sideways. Blocking of this. Another Urza's Saga. Such a ruthless card. Part of the mana base, but it provides so much value. Profitter Foundry. To add to Ryan's side of the board. Now, Urza's Saga being tapped. Should have two. So during the upkeep, tapping it. Sagas level up during the draw step, so making construct in that first go around. Will still get the second crack at it. 7 mana, Cauldron Complete. That is hasty and indestructible, but right now facing off True Name Nemesis. They're kind of just at a I mean, Retrofitter Foundry will eventually overwhelm the board. Super grindy Legends in the deck anymore. Mangara to be part of the equation, and Death and Taxes inevitability. Now, Rocket's mostly just protecting Thalia. Actually bouncing opposing Legends as well. A card like Mangara that you can start taking out key permanents. Really hasn't been main deck builds for quite some time. Is super slow and there's so much competition. Skyclave Apparition. Considerably faster, more efficient. Oh, looks like another Murktide. Another Flicker Wisp. It's a lot to ask. He's already gotten some out of the deck along with the Charming Prince, but flashing these Murktides off the board would be of great value. One mana shy of equipping the Cauldron. Well, he's got the Plains and he's got the Flicker Wisp equipped. Very close. Six damage had been pushed through earlier. There's been some fetches and some forces. Maybe a situation where Flicker Wisp can turn sideways twice, then can survive. Flying constructs, flying thopters, I should say. That can get in the way of this plan. Out of the Retrofitter Foundry is going to be colorless. Servos, thopters, and constructs. Cauldron takes down a Murktide region. From Cauldron Complete, those thopters not really a viable option for blocking. Throw his Murktide Regent in front of it. And maybe getting here. To equipment. Batterskull was stopped. What a great thing it is to have another piece of equipment in the deck that can turn any one of your threats the real deal. Construct coming in. Charming Prince lining up to KO'd by the Construct. 3, of course, going to be no matter what. Looks like Pro Blue could do it. Like Mother of Runes could just give this Flicker Wisp a hall pass. Run around the school. Final damage. Both Flicker Wisps can't get in there. The Murktide Regent sacrificed on the altar of Cauldron Complete. 7. Bouncing this Sword of Cauldron, or Cauldron Complete, I should say, over to the other Flicker Wisp. Now is happy to block the Construct. Retrofitter Foundry. A grindy card, but it's looking like it's not going to be enough. To make a new body or upgrade an existing one. Fun card design. Build. Incorrectly labeled as Delver. To see the cards in the deck, I saw like a Brainstorm and a Ragavan. Plowshares. Lightning Bolt. Probably not swords. That would have raised some type of alert. Constructs going in. Oh, and a Lightning Bolt. That was a very close one. Bolt actually finished the job. It looked like Ben was going to pull that one out. On the play. Lanes go. Like a likely Thalia on turn. A ton of hands that Death and Taxes wants to keep solid play. Actually, Stoneforge missed enough in this matchup. That was G. It's grabbed. Again, swordsing before equipment is grabbed. Now it's possible that Ben verbally indicated which equipment he was going to get. There at all. Keep in mind, general shortcut not going to be for benefit as options. Now a Thalia towards the Plowshares preceding it. That'll be the last 1-mana spell played this game, or is Ryan going to find a way to get rid of Thalia? Well, there's a Caracas. That's an easy way to get rid of Thalia. Without Aether Vial on board. Problem. Caracas is tapped. Then has a Thalia comes back down along with Mother of Runes. The way she's taxing Ryan's mana base. Caracas remove her from the board as opposed to casting threats. Lightning Bolt needing to take out the Mother of Runes before she gets active. Once she is, collect away any type of removal. Of course, that does need to cost 2, and now Ragavan comes down. He is not at his best here. Thalia swings, allowing it. Recruiter of the Guard. That lines up quite well against the monkey. Hand tripping a sword, even better. I mean, you're tutoring up the best thing that your deck can find. Grabbing a Charming Prince. Raucous Bouncing. Thalia. I don't know about that Charming. Perhaps assuming that Ryan's not going to be willing to trade Ragavan for the Recruiter of the Guard. Maybe a reasonable assumption. Versus Saga. Oh, that blacked out card is a Raucous. There we go. So Ragavan not going to be anything happen. And now Recruiter of the Guard picking up a GTA, doing some work. That versus Saga is on the battlefield, so Pithing Needle can be found, rein in some of the damage from this. Blooded Standstill is just going to be happy to make its land drops every turn, find out every advantage it can get. Go ahead and pump, getting in that damage while it can be had. Oh no, is this a Cataclysm? Daze Hardcast stops it. Wow, that is one of the better dazes that I've seen. Cataclysm would have been absolutely insane here. Left Ryan with basically just a Pithing Needle. Presuming that he keeps the Urza's Saga, which then would turn itself into much value in this. Of course, they shut down. I mean, it's relentlessly powerful. Best limited cards of all. Got a Wasteland taking up Raucous. Now a True Name Nemesis. Charming Prince. While perhaps got a Flicker Wisp. Spell. That out pretty soon. Like it might be an 8th file. Murktide Region. Absolutely. True Name staying home. Life total. And make short work of this Murktide region. Or at least put him in tradable territory. Tier 3. Sorts of potential disruption here with Schadenport on Ben's side of the board. And ready to be viled in. Yep. Happens some stuff down. Vile approaches 3 counters. That is really where the vials are the strongest, when you're getting this massive mana advantage. Tapping a vial, putting in a Flicker Wisp. That's like a reusable Black Lotus. Happens to make itself uncounterable. like Charming Prince heading in there. Flicker Wisp. Head and flicker out Recruiter of the Guard. Skyclave Apparition and able to handle Sithing Needle would be a significant swing. True. Multiple Flicker Wisps really do get out of hand. I'm not sure why the card doesn't seem to get as much respect as like a Delver of Secrets. Nobody really feels salty. Well, that's not true. I guess a lot of people feel salty about losing Delver, but they're not well adjusted because it's going to happen. But Flicker Wisp, just as powerful. It's not really seen in a similar light at all in terms of the legitimacy of a power flying threat. They get there, left unchecked, especially, you get two of them, 6 damage at a time. That just closes out a game very quickly. Got Urza's Saga. Let's have enough time to even go through all of its steps, stages. End of turn. Stoneforge Mystic. Off of the Aether Vial. Porting down the Wasteland. Wasteland taking out Wasteland. Stoneforge Mystic puts in that Cauldron Complete. Have some Pro Blue swinging out. Force of Will, the only card left that will not save Ryan. That match entertaining, but ending in a 1-1 draw.